Alrighty, good to see everybody. Wow, look at that. Wow. Who is that? Grace, Lex, and Vanessa? Wow. Love to see it. Love to see it. Cool. All right, guys. Yeah, we do have a guest coming on today to talk about crypto. That's going to be in about 10 minutes, but I think I'd like to just start right off and go right into the action of the call with Q&A. So you guys can start putting your questions in the chat. I have one I'm going to start off with. Thought it was a good question that applied to many people, especially who are building brands. And I was looking through my podcast and I don't think I had answered it yet. So this is definitely a good one to start off with here. Let me just make sure that I can find it. And then we'll start. Grace, Vanessa, Lex, what's it like being together right now?
Me? Yeah, it's so good. It's been so fun and really just, I don't know, just good, like valuable conversation.
It didn't feel like real when we met.
Yeah,
True. It was so cool just meeting in person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like surreal. But it's also been fun because I don't know, just like being on the same wavelength with different things, like wanting to them filming and
we've
doing
done a
business
lot of
and
stuff.
just
yeah, lots of content down here for sure.
Yeah.
So it's amazing.
I know, it's cool to be with people who like do things similar to you. This is my first time like being with people who are more like-minded to me. So it's cool. I like it. And it's nice.
First time, really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I don't have like friends that like, they don't do things that like I do. They're not into this stuff like that. So I think that's what's awesome about even Maxi and everything, like just getting the people together. I think it's like a really cool experience. And it was like so surreal meeting. I was like, oh, you're real.
Yeah, that's crazy. I'm excited. I'm excited to meet as many of you that are coming out this Friday. It's exciting. Mm-hmm. Cool. All right. So we're going to start off with Connor, your question. So Connor basically asked, how would you go about recommending taking that much action? Okay, so the original question, I'm gonna have to give you guys a little bit of context. The original, or Connor, do you want to kind of just rephrase it succinctly, because you wrote quite a bit?
Yeah, definitely. So for me, I feel like I have constantly, I've tried a lot of different things to kind of figure out a passion or something that I am really interested in doing. I've made videos before, I've done podcasts, and I've done a couple other things. And it just feels like I can't really latch onto anything or find really a passion. And so we kind of discussed how I've done different stuff. And then you recommended that you have to take copious amounts of action to find something that you're passionate about. And so I'm just trying to figure out how you would go about doing that copious amount of action, or how you would go about doing a bunch of different things to figure out what you enjoy.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think the first thing you said, you made 40 YouTube videos?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, you're definitely a step ahead. So you've done it once, right? Mm-hmm. It's like when people ask me, should I start a YouTube channel? Is that a good idea? I'm like, well, just make 30 videos and then see if you like it. So how do you feel? Did you like making the videos? Yes or no?
I enjoyed making the videos. I think one of the problems is a lot of my content was college related. And now that, I'm kind of not necessarily around that, it's kind of more difficult to find content. And I also think that the experience of doing that while in college was a gigantic time commitment that really sucked a lot of time, And so one of my questions, I was talking to Jack about how we would go, how he goes about going through an editing process, or what he would recommend and how to kind of expedite that process to make it more efficient. But yeah, I mean, I'm into making videos. It's difficult right now with kind of my situation to find stuff to film, I feel like.
Yeah, got it. So, I mean, there's a lot of different ways I can go with this. I could probably talk about this the rest of the call, but I'll try to give you the 10-minute version before our guest pops on today. But Yeah, I mean, one, like, yeah, it's a big time commitment, but that's kind of, you kind of have to accept that. I mean, when I was in college working on my YouTube videos, on my content, I didn't play any video games. I didn't, you know, I would leave parties early, right? Like I knew and was excited that it was a 4 to 5 hour commitment per day. And I put it at the end of the day because it was the thing at least in my college schedule, was the thing I looked forward to the most. So I knew that if I put it at the end of the day, then I would just kind of find the energy. Like I knew if I put homework at the end of the day, I'd fall asleep. But like put making content at the end of the day, you're going to be able to find energy to put into it. I'd also look at, Matt Diavella is an interesting example. I mean, there's so many great YouTubers who are able to tell stories from nothing, like from their house, like just from your room. John Fish. Have you looked up John Fish?
No.
John, he might be a good one to check out. More so his older videos. He's this Harvard freshman who really was able to build his brand off kind of being a Harvard freshman, and he really, almost not everyone, but most people who are at Harvard, first of all, are pretty well-spoken and intelligent. And then the second you put Harvard freshman college advice, or Harvard, what it's like to be a freshman at Harvard, it blows up. But he did it really well. And he's a great example of someone who's able to just tell a story without having to do anything crazy, which is, I think, what you feel like you need right now. And you don't need that. I also hate to say it too. I don't hate to say it, but hold on. I watch Emma Chamberlain. And her videos, she doesn't do much at all. Like, and she even is very upfront about the fact that she feels like her videos are very repetitive. She feels like she doesn't have much to say. And but yet you're like, why am I watching this? I don't know. She's kind of good at just keeping your attention with the way she speaks, the relatability of it, the kind of like anecdotes and insights that she gives. And I think it's just her consistency in documentation. So, like if you're strapped for content ideas, the answer is always just, well, put the camera on and say you feel like you're out of ideas, and then just expand on that, and then the other, this is the more business answer I would give you, is like, if you feel like you need an external thing like college to build your channel, then you just might be thinking about your channel wrong from the first place, and how you're building your brand wrong in the first place. Like if anyone ever asked me why I built my channel the way I did, the answer was because I was making college content to serve the younger version of myself. So the younger version of myself struggled with anxiety, negative thinking patterns, depression, and only watched I'm Smacked videos, or Life According to Jimmy, who, by the way, I met Life According to Jimmy. Anyone here know Life According to Jimmy? I think I talked about this. Yeah, you do, Connor?
Yeah.
I met him in the grocery store, and I was probably the most, because he was a huge icon. Like, I watched all of his videos every Monday. He uploaded every Monday. Anyway, younger version of myself is watching that. Definitely not into psychology. So basically what I did with my channel is I picked a problem with a very specific target audience, and I made videos that I knew that target audience would be looking for: college party content. So rethink your channel and why you're making content in the first place. Like, who is it actually for? And like, when you think about it like that, then it's a lot easier to kind of use your imagination to figure out what angle you can take. Like, if you're not in college and you really do want to make college content for whatever purpose, story time, college story time. If you maybe do some exploration and realize, like, you actually don't care that much about, hold on a second. Sorry, hold on. These girls. Emma just called. Okay. Yeah, now I lost my train of thought. Thanks, Emma. No, yeah, like get back to the problem that you are really trying to solve. That's, that's what I think in my Twitter, I don't know if anyone went through my Twitter stream. Rowan, I think you did. I know a bunch of you guys did. My Twitter thread that I put up recently. And one of them, okay, all good. Yeah, one of the tweets was basically, and I lost my train of thought again. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Connor, where were we?
You were talking about like your latest Twitter thread.
Yeah, I don't know where. Dang, it was a good point too. Okay, my phone's on silent. They're not going to bother us anymore. Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. Is there any part of that answer that you want me to elaborate on a little bit more?
No, I mean, so what would you recommend? Like, how would you go about, like recording? So my story, like I left college because I didn't want to do online Zoom classes and it was kind of a waste of money in my eyes. But now I just kind of work, a full-time job. I don't really do, especially with COVID, there's not a lot of like crazy, super interesting things. And like I could do sit down story times and like have those kind of conversations. But the real reason why I started a YouTube channel was like kind of the similar issues of view of like, I was a high schooler, wanted to know what college was like, wanted to know, like how to figure out what would be the best experience and what would be the best way of going about it. And so like my highest YouTube videos are like, first day in college or like, what a dorm is like, so it's how would I transition out of that into like not being a college student, but still trying to not necessarily help college students, but help like people below or younger than me that are, kind of traveling, towards, this stage of life that they're trying to figure out.
That last sentence seemed to resonate, like this stage of life that you're trying to figure out. Talk about that. I mean, like we were talking to Three Rivers over here about this, like just vulnerability, just if you feel like you're in a stage in your life where you're a bit lost, talk about that. What does that feel like? Dig into that. Being vulnerable is one of the reasons, like a lot of like music artists, for example, are so successful. I think, Rowan, did you put the Hobson NF track in the group chat?
Not me, no.
Someone put or was it Graham? Oh, it was Austin. Yeah, that. So I don't know if you guys have heard of NF. I had never heard of this guy until this morning when I finally clicked on the video that Austin put in there. And this guy's, it's just Hobson too. They're both just like hard on the sleeve, And I think just like the more honest you are with yourself and what you're actually feeling, if anything, like it's just like there's no excuse not to tell the story or the story that you're in right now. Like the story you just told all of us is the story you should be telling now. You don't have to like make anything else up. It's in you. Just what are you feeling? Just let it out.
Got it. Okay.
There's no puzzle really.
Yeah. So I'm overcomplicating it.
You're trying to like overcompensate.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, we spoke to Jacob about this a bit too. Yeah, hop on Lex's podcast, Connor. We spoke to Jacob about this. I brought this up a couple times. It was such a good example. Just him feeling okay. We have Nick in the waiting room, so we're gonna let Nick in. Hey, Nick.
What's up, Arlen?
Guys, this is Nick. I'm sure many of you have heard of Nick from either if you listen to the podcast that I put out of him, if you have seen him in my videos, or if you've just heard about me talk about him in general. Nick is one of my mentors who is one of the main reasons Maxi is what it is. Nick is the CTO of First Republic Bank. He is a crazy entrepreneur. He's a founder of co-founder of several startups and tech companies, including Scully, 3 of which have also been on Shark Tank, and he's also CTO at Hubi, and he has a bunch of other projects that he's been working on as well. And Nick, for me, has been kind of just a really good voice of reason and guidance and direction in the past year and a half since I've met him. And I'm really excited that he's taken some time to come on and chat with us. So Nick, welcome everyone. This is Nick.
Yeah, can you guys hear me okay? Well, can you hear me okay, Arlen? I don't know if everyone can chat back. Okay, cool. We're moving out of one of our Oakland apartments today. So yeah, it's just been a little hectic day over here. But yeah, happy to take some time, chat a little bit about what crypto NFTs, is that what we're on today, Arlen?
Yeah, it seems to be the hot topic. And actually Rowan had asked a question about them this morning, and we haven't really talked about them at all here, but I figure while it's this hot, I think it's just worth diving into. So the question from Rowan was basically, so Rowan's a music artist, and his question was like, what is an NFT? So I gave a short summary of them, but from your perspective, like what is an NFT, and how would you describe it to beginners, and what's the use?
I mean, so like an NFT at the base core of it is just like a certificate of authenticity, pretty much, right? Is that it just it's 2 things. You can think of it, one as a certificate of authenticity, and like in the real world, you have like a title for a car or for a house or something that proves you own it, right? And so like with an NFT, pretty much what they did was use the blockchain's property of like being like always immutable, so like not being able to be changed, to like say like, okay, this person owns that, and like that's the proof, that's the ledger of like where, like who that belongs to and what it is, right?
So what is the actual, like what is the use?
So I mean, the use is really just for proving authenticity and also for proving ownership. And it's like a public way of doing that, and then being able to prove that you own something, right? I mean, you could say if you were going to use crypto, and I mean, people are working on these things for things in the real world. I mean, an NFT could be a house, right? And you could be like, I own this house, and like, this is my house, right? And if you sold it to someone else, you would transfer that NFT to them, and they would own that house, right? So it's like a title for a house. It's just like selling a car to someone. Or, I mean, in the more common case these days, I mean, some people are doing it with music right now. I think that's going to be a bigger thing, but just like the NBA is doing, or what they're doing with the Pokemon card stuff, it's like, if I have a collectible card and I sell it to Arlen, like Arlen has that card, like the only proof Arlen has is usually having that card, or you can get it certified or authenticate. And like an NFT is just both of those things, so that you don't have to worry about that in like the real world. It's the digital form of that.
Got it. And so can you elaborate a little bit, Nick? Because this is something that I'm less clear on, of like, so just to give you a perspective for everyone in the group, everyone here is, I would say upwards of 90% are entrepreneurs building a business, many content creators here, and even a handful of music artists. So let's start with music artists, actually, because that's where Rowan came from. Like, what would be an actual practical application for a music artist of like how to get into the NFT? Like, what might a music artist do?
So practical, I guess, is like is like a little arbitrary in the crypto case. I mean, like in the future, I think really what crypto is good for is proof of ownership, right? I think what it will right now, it's like everything else in crypto. There's a lot of hype around it. I mean, there's almost no reason that set of 500 images in 500 days should have sold for $64 million. Other than the fact that
what just happened?
There was that, like Christie's did an auction where they sold an NFT from like some photographer artist guy, and it sold for $64 million. and it's like the one of one. He took one picture, he did one picture or art thing a day for 500 days and turned it into like a collage, and pretty much sold that, right? There's no reason that should have sold for that much, but like it's like kind of like that crypto hype, and like I guess there is like a little bubble around NFTs where things will stabilize. I mean, I think right now for anyone, an artist or anything, the best thing to do is to, like, if you have something you can do or make, you can put it up there and you can try and capitalize on that, right? And like capitalize on kind of that hype. But like as a creator, you don't really have you don't have much to lose, right? Because you're going to put it up there, it's going to sell or it's not. You make it a lot, you make it a little, but like you have a chance. As like a purchaser, I'd say you should be a little bit more careful. Some things that are collectible or that are from authentic sources are going to be worth something still in the future. Like other things are just kind of popping up, and like, so I think a little bit more dangerous to be on the buying side sometimes in these cases, right? I mean, because it'll be volatile. Like who knows what someone will pay for the next time, right? But like, when it comes to being a music artist, like in the future, I think digital rights, like the DRM stuff, the digital rights media, like things like that are probably going to be the big use for crypto. So like like you have an NFT and it can track who's listening to something or who's actually like pretty much track royalties and things like that in the future. I mean, right now, all it really is you're selling the rights to your music pretty much when you do that, right? So like if Steve Aoki or any of those people who are like making NFTs and selling music, when you sell that token, you're selling the rights to that music, right? So like, if you want to have ownership over that, you're pretty much giving that away. And so like, that's kind of the thing that you have to balance. You have to balance when creating stuff, for at least right now.
Got it. I think what might be helpful is just so everyone could kind of really grasp the technology of it, is to like let's start with like really basic level. Like, so I think the most basic one to me, and maybe there's even more, Nick, is just like, you think of like a JPEG file on a computer, and a JPEG file or a PNG, you can just screenshot it. Like if you have it on your phone, you can just screenshot it and it's an exact replica. But if you turn that into an NFT, and I definitely want to get into that process because I know you're going through it now, that JPEG or whatever even file format it is now is just, you just can't copy it because it's linked to.
No, you can copy it.
Oh, you just can't copy it, but you can't.
Yeah, you can't prove that. Can't prove that it's either yours or that it's the original, right? So like, it's the same thing. If I had to say, you could own the Mona Lisa and I could own a print of the Mona Lisa, but if you like, you have to go to an authenticator and they'd be like, this is fake and that one's real, and yours is worth a lot more because it's real. And like, that's the same premise, except that when you're using an NFT on, again, you have like the actual like token that proves that you own that digital piece. It's just already authenticated for you. You don't have to go to a third party and authenticate it, right? It gets authenticated once, and then that is built into the token.
So you can make an NFT out of an image. That's one example. You can make an NFT out of an MP3 file, or anything. So anything that you can upload somewhere pretty much can become. And so like, there's, I guess, file systems. So like you can save files on your computer. They have like tokens and technology that let you save files onto the blockchain too. So like, mainly it's all based off Ethereum right now for the most part. And upload a file to Ethereum pretty much. And like, it kind of just lives there forever. Okay, so let's try to give two more things. Let's try to give everyone like a very simple real world application that just makes sense of like why, let's say, for example, a YouTuber might want to make an NFT, and what they might potentially make, and why that would be desirable.
Well, so for someone who's already got a following, like the thing that you can do is turn digital media into collector's items, right? Jack Dorsey just sold his first tweet as an NFT. So like, he uploaded his first tweet and it proved that did it, and he said, I'm selling the right to the first tweet I ever made. right? So like pretty much like any point in time or anything in time that is digital can now be sold as an NFT. I think that's it. So like, I mean, if you talk about well, you know, these some of the people that we're friends with, like David or Scotty, like if David Dobrik wanted to sell his first video, he could upload the original video file of his first YouTube file to as an NFT, and you could sell it, just sell the rights to it, right? And so like it's pretty much making that into a collector's item. Like someone proves that they own David's first video. And that's kind of like for all of time, that digital thing is now collectible, right?
Got it. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Now let's go into because you're making one right now. You're making one NFT or a couple different ones?
Well, so like what I'm working on is trying to augment NFTs to provide other value, right? So like there's public versions of NFTs right now, and like there isn't currently a private version of an NFT.
Right.
Like, the way that I can describe it best is like you have an artist made you a painting and you have it in your house and everyone can come over and see it, which is the public version of an NFT today. But there's an inscription on the back that they wrote just for you, and you're the only one who can take that painting off the wall and read that. So
Is that a new technology, Nick, or is that something you're trying to code yourself?
Yes, yeah. So that's what
That's wild.
Yeah. So like you can buy one of those NBA cards, right? For the players, the trading cards, but the person who owns it has extra content. Maybe it's a highlight reel that only you can see until you sell it, and then someone else can then see it when they buy it from you. But it gives like the private exclusive, like a private exclusive piece to NFTs.
Got it. And now let's talk about buying and creating. So we'll start with creating. Let's say someone here is looking to create an NFT. What is the 1, 2, 3, 4 step process?
I mean, it's really creating a digital asset and then uploading it to one of the NFT marketplaces. Like, I don't think you need to get complex or reinvent the wheel. I mean, there's the OpenSea project where you can upload.
So where would someone go? It's a website?
Yeah, they're just websites. I mean, one's called like Makers Community. There's another one, the OpenSea project. You can they have a whole bunch of stuff on how to upload digital content and then be able to sell it. And then usually from there, like those sites also have auctions and marketplaces, right? I mean, like like CryptoKitties is even one of them, where like you can go on and you can buy a CryptoKitty, and that's been around for a while. It's just like this just kind of caught on more recently. So you can buy your CryptoKitty, and there's a market where I can sell it to whoever else wants it or put it up on the market, right?
I posted a CryptoPunk thing on my story. For those of you that don't know, or if anyone raise your hand if you saw my Instagram story about the CryptoPunk thing. I said, I'm a simple guy. If I see a CryptoPunk, I notice you. So what that basically is an NFT, right, Nick? That's an NFT. And it's like just a little I'm assuming one of one, almost digital profile picture, right? Is that what that is?
Yeah, that's what yeah.
And the reason it's kind of funny is because those things are going for like $40,000, $50,000, $100,000.
Yeah. I think
people are just buying them. Like
that's where the buy side gets like a little weird. And it's like, I mean, a lot of it too is that like a lot of people don't know there's a lot of people who have a lot of crypto and are super hype on crypto, but have no way to spend it yet and also don't care. I mean, like I have friends that have hundreds of Bitcoin, like that just have had it for forever, and like they can't spend it, they can't really take it out. Like there's anything to do with it right now, right? So like they're like, whatever, screw it. Like what's $50 million? Is like because they look at it in terms of crypto prices, right? So like it's like okay, that's 50K. That's like point. I mean, yeah, it's like 1 Bitcoin. So like, what's that to them? And like
that's so funny.
Yeah. That's the disconnect between real money and digital currency, right? Like Bryson, you got to talk to yesterday when we were brainstorming and called you. Like when he thinks of things, like and buys things online, he buys them in terms of Ethereum. He doesn't think about the dollar value behind it. Like that doesn't mean it. Like it's 0.1 Ethereum. He knows how much Ethereum has if you want to spend 0.1 Ethereum. Right.
So I just want everyone to kind of take that note into consideration too. That kind of just is crazy. I mean, so you have some friends that literally have hundreds of Bitcoin.
Yeah, and they're like not usually.
So how much is that dollar wise? Like,
in 100 is what $6 million. So, like in like the tens
$600 million in Bitcoin.
Well, 600. No, that what 100 Bitcoin is 6 million dollars.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
But you said they have hundreds.
Yes. Yeah.
So they have probably tens of millions of dollars.
Yes.
And they're just messing around. Got it. Yeah. Okay, cool. So you basically, if you wanted to create one, you go to one of these websites. I guess you could just even Google how to upload an NFT or like, what'd you say?
OpenSea or Makers Community. Yes.
Makers Community. Okay. And you can just take your video, go and make one, and then put a price on it. Now, if you want to buy one, what same process?
Yeah, they're marketplaces for the most part.
Got it. And my last question, and then I'll leave open. I don't know how much time you have, Nick, but I would love to.
We'll have to do a follow-up call since we're packing up things. But we can definitely, I would say, just grab questions together, and we can set up like a call just to talk about like everything in general. Maybe more of like even small format.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, Nick. Then I'll let you go.
Okay, cool.
Cool. All right, guys. That was Nick.
Ask questions. Yeah, we'll talk more about. I'll see you Thursday, Arlen.
Cool. See you Thursday, Nick.
Thank you.
Yeah, Nick's really smart. And has a lot of smart friends. Surround yourself with people like Nick. That's all I can say. Cool. All right. I'm sorry we didn't get to all your questions. I told him originally only 10 minutes, and I think he stayed on for like 20. So, yeah. I mean, anyone have any like initial thoughts or things they wanted to add burning in their mind off that conversation?
I just thought that it was cool that he said that people don't really care about the US dollar amount. It's the actual like Ethereum and stuff, because that was one of my questions, because I have like a piece that I would like to sell, but it's like $2,000, I think, but that's literally nothing in Ethereum. So it's like, it's interesting. It kind of gives me hope, Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah, you have a piece that you want to sell? What do you mean?
Yeah, like I have an artwork piece I'm trying to mint. It's an NFT. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, it's crazy. My new friend Sage Willows that I put on my story a couple days ago. Sage is making 4 NFTs, and that's it. So he's a painter. He sells his work for thousands and thousands of dollars. Art collectors will buy like 10 of his works and just put them in a storage container, hoping that, as he kind of elicited, hoping that one day Sage will die and that the price of his work will skyrocket. So Sage was like, okay, I'm gonna basically announce to the world that I'm only ever gonna make 4 of these digital artworks and never make any again. So they're immediately worth millions of dollars. And he's going to sell 3 of them this week, which is crazy. So yeah, it's a wild world. I don't know what it is going to mean for the future of like the dollar. I don't know enough about it. All I can say is the last thing I'll leave on that topic, then we can go back into kind of our normal discussion, is someone I've been following who I think gives really good beginner advice on crypto in general is Alex Becker on YouTube. He's really funny. He's definitely a bit nerdy, but also funny. And he he's like self-proclaimed not an expert, but if you're just trying to learn a little bit about crypto, I think it's worth putting in 10, 20 hours of just learning, just so you know what the hell's going on with money in the world. And that's it. Did anyone else have any burning things they wanted to say on that whole discussion?
Yeah, just like, so it was like, I think he said like anything you can make digital, you can make an NFT. So in theory, I was just literally looking around this room and going, okay, I have 3 like pretty high value NFL jerseys here. I could theoretically, this just what I'm gaining is I could take a picture of that jersey, make it into an NFT and sell it. Right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna do. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, I would look into that, because I'm sure you're not, I mean, it's a great idea, but I'm sure you're not the first person to think about that.
Yeah, for sure.
But it does make sense. Like, if you have the real one, why not make a digital version of the real one and make it the official digital version? You'll probably want to take nice photos of it and everything, but
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, super interesting.
Weird. So strange. What a strange time.
Anybody else?
I was kind of having like some thoughts, like, so with like the sneaker game and whatever, like they battle like authenticity all the time. There's a lot of people making fakes. So I'm thinking like, if like Jordan or Nike was to do a release, and like if you received a pair from like an authenticated like seller or reputable seller, you get like an NFT for like that specific shoe. It's like would that like make sense? Like, would they have to sell a different NFT for each individual pair?
I think that makes sense. It kind of seems to me like the same thing as a house, right? Like, they're doing it to authenticate if you own a house or not, right? So if you own the NFT, then you own the house. It's just if you own the house and you also have the NFT, it's like your certificate, digital certificate. Could be the same for shoes.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Evan, go ahead.
Arlen, what's up, everyone? I'll just speak really quickly to the musicians that are in the group and NFTs and where that's going. I spent the last 3 years sort of building and scaling a digital rights management. So Content ID and Facebook, and sort of the big money and what labels really care about now is, you know, everyone is using music and putting it on their YouTube and all of these different places. They want to be able to predict trends and figure out, hey, so we would figure out, you know, after Old Town Road hit, everyone wanted country pop that was hitting in this places of the country, and spending a lot of money to very quickly find where things were moving. And so a lot of labels and major tech are coming together to figure out, okay, if we can authentically figure out this artist their music is blowing up in Florida and Texas right before a big festival, we know that to invest more money in this artist. And they can instantly do that through a lot of these digital things, but right now it's a little clunky and a lot of people don't have a way to do that. So there's a lot of really cool things that are happening there. Labels are really excited about NFTs and all of that going forward. So if you want to talk more about that, happy to talk. That's sort of what I've been nerded out on.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think one more application that just popped into my mind is, you guys probably all by now know my friend Jan, who is the augmented reality guy. And obviously we've had discussions about it, you know, Nick and my friends and such, about creating augmented reality NFTs. So imagine not only being able to own, for example, a piece of art, right? Like this piece on the wall here, but owning the digital copy is one thing, but then owning the digital NFT version of this that you can turn into AR, so that you can put it in your house on your phone. I think they're doing it with cause statues. Raise your hand if you know what cause statues are. It's a very hype beastie thing. JT, what's a cause statue? Can you explain it?
It's pretty much like a collectible figure of just like I don't even know. It's like, isn't that?
You have one? Does anyone have one?
I don't have one, no.
They're really expensive, and they're like thousands of dollars for these. They look like little pandas, basically, big in pop culture. But yeah, I mean, I think the founder of that made some NFTs. So like, for example, I could, here's my, so I geek out over this. I think this is really cool. Or honestly, Raptor could do it, or you guys, I mean, this could spark your guys' imagination too for what you could do with Beam and NFTs. I don't know if you guys downloaded this app yet, but it's pretty cool. I'm just scanning the floor. So there's Raptor now.
What's going on, everybody? I go by the name of Raptor, and this is my single invitation. Enjoy. From your bedroom. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I wanna be the first one to text. I wanna leave a personal message for you. 'Cause I don't need a hurting in my
That'd be
chest.
cool if I could go over there. But anyway, you could own that and be the only one to be able to see that. If that makes sense.
I don't know what I saw, but that's gonna be fucking massive. Whatever you just played.
Oh, you haven't seen AR stuff, Rowan?
I mean, like I've seen AR, but not like a live concert from like. I'm just saying that's crazy.
Have you minted that, Arlen?
Have I minted that?
Yeah.
No.
Are you
No.
going to?
I would have to get permission from Jan because he owns all of the
Or
rights
is
to
he,
all of that.
has he minted them?
I'm sure he's looking into it. I mean, Jan is about to be a trillionaire with his AR technology. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I'm not gonna say who. Okay. There's just so many. For AR, there's so many wild applications. The porn industry is a very large money-making industry, and hypothetically, imagine if they were to do that was wrapped up, but I'm not okay. I'm just gonna step away from that topic. But that's a thing. It's crazy. It is crazy. It is crazy. Yeah, I'll show you one more thing, Rowan, on that topic. So I think I put it on my Instagram story, but it was so cool to be able to show Sage Willows, that painter. We're in his studio, and I go, "Have you heard of Raptor?" And he goes, "No." And I go, "Oh, let me show you Raptor." So I just was able to introduce him to somebody in right there. I was like, "This is Raptor. Here he is."
Dude,
so
game.
Right?
So
for artists, I mean, it's crazy. Technology is crazy. Technology is crazy.
What's the actual platform that's shot on?
Beam, BEEM. You can download it now on the App Store. Yeah. Cool. All right, I'm going to go into the rest of these questions, although this technology themed call is pretty fun. Okay. Dugan, thank you for that video testimonial you sent over. That was amazing.
Yeah, I didn't know if it was the best because I was just like out of it, but hopefully it worked.
No, it was spot on. It was great. You seemed very locked in. I loved it. Thank you. Cool. Yep. So your question was, you wanted to touch base about what we talked about your videos. So your original question was how to film like you and your friends drinking, because you feel like later on, if you want to get a job or if your friends wanted to get a job, it might reflect poorly on you and you wouldn't be able to get a job. That was the question, right?
Yeah, it was more specifically for them because I really don't care. I'll post it, but and I got a lot of content over the past week, but it was a lot of them being in it, and now I can't post it because they are like, you can't post this. Like,
Yeah, I think it's a blessing in disguise, because for your brand, Dugan, I wouldn't advise you to show yourself or your friends partying too much, because you're building a community, being a leader of people with cystic fibrosis, right? And it's just like, for that image, that brand image, sure, you can go out and party and have fun when you're on vacation, but like, I wouldn't really recommend attaching that so much to your brand. The other comment I made to you, which is something I think was really subtle to me, that actually one of my mentors told me as I was kind of making the transition from college to real life, was, and the way he said it to me was, Arlen, less red Solo cups and more champagne glasses. And it's so subtle, but if you think about it, it's just like, what does that really mean? And how does that translate beyond just getting friends together? It's like, okay, I'm going to have some people over tonight. Do I A, buy the red Solo cups and ping pong balls, or B, get some nice champagne glasses and have it be more classy and sophisticated and relaxed? And that's why I said that to you, Dugan, because, as someone who's leading a community of people, you need to be mature, and no one's going to pay you if you're, no one's going to trust you to lead them and to show that you can make them healthier and happier if you're just having red Solo cups, So that's why I said to you, less red Solo cups, more champagne glasses. Does that make sense? Also, your reception's pretty bad, I think.
Makes a lot more sense. Yeah.
Got it. Cool.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, good now.
Okay. Yeah, I was saying that makes a lot more sense.
Cool. All right. Liz, tips for speaking to the camera more clearly, less ums and likes. Liz, the best advice I can give is just, it sucks, but it's just like repeat, because the more you watch yourself, the more you'll just notice it. And then, like, that's why I've gotten better at it, just because every day, whether it's 3 or 7 times a week, I'm viewing myself speaking. Sometimes I'll even review these calls and notice how I'm speaking. And it's just a conscious decision that you have to make to get better at it. Because there's not really much else you can do. But the benefit is that editing videos of yourself is probably the best way to improve your communication skills, because you're just so aware of your tics and what you sound like and what you look like. The other thing I would say is getting more comfortable with silence. Is a filler. But if you can just practice, like, go in with the intention, filming your next video, to use silence and to just not say and every time you're tempted to say just be quiet. Does that make sense, Liz?
I think she had to leave.
Oh, word. Okay. Well, I hope that helps someone.
That helped me.
Yeah. Business casual for the live event. Yeah. Honestly, wear whatever you want. Business. I mean, you don't have to wear. I probably wouldn't wear a suit and tie. I don't even own one out here. Kind of what you guys are all wearing right now looks great. How to shift my full-time job for the last 4 years into a part-time and just one of my clients. Short answer, Nicole, before I ask you more questions about this, is pick which client is paying you the most, and then come up with a new package that maybe pays you double, so that because you can put more time into it now, so they can obviously pay you more, and go in that direction. But did you want to elaborate on this a little more so we can get some of the context?
Yeah, so the client is my dad. I basically do all the marketing and design for his business, now 2 businesses. So it takes up all of my time, but with starting my agency, I want him to be one of my clients, not my sole client. So I've started taking some load off of my plate, so I wouldn't have to do as much myself. But I think I just need to hear the shift from someone outside of me, because I'm having a hard time seeing the shift since I've been doing it this way for so many years.
I think I'm actually a little bit confused. Can you reiterate
Okay.
that? I think I misinterpreted the first time, and then you said something, and now I'm confused. So you're trying to go from, what is the current situation? You're working, your dad is one of your clients. You have 3 others, or he's the only client?
He's the only one. So
Got it.
he's been my full-time job, and then I'll freelance on the side. But now I'm starting my agency, and he'll just be one of my clients, not my main client. That makes
And
sense.
so the question is how to make him just one of your clients, not the main client, but still keep the same retainer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I would look at what parts of what you're doing for him are adding the most value. Like do an 80-20 analysis, look at what services are you providing for him and which of those services is having a direct ROI on his business. And then take that and see if you can find other clients who, because like odds are, I mean, it's your dad. He's probably asking you to do a lot more than what you're actually supposed to be doing.
For sure. Yeah. So I guess I have to like draw some lines too.
Yeah. And I'm sure he'll be understanding, be like, Dad, look, I'm trying to grow this business. What I would imagine the conversation would look like is, hey, Dad, I'm trying to grow this business. I did an analysis. I figured out that out of the 40 hours of work I do per week for you, the highest ROI that you get is within the 5 hours that I work on design or whatever it might be. And honestly, I would stay far away from that. Sorry, I'm backpedaling a bit, but I would stay far away from even telling him how many hours you're putting in, because then as your dad, he's going to be like, well, what am I going to pay you for less? But yeah, he should pay you for less, but he shouldn't know that. You should just tell him, hey, Dad, the services of all the services I'm offering you, I figured out that like this package is the highest ROI, and I'm going to be taking on more clients now offering this same package. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think so. So I think I just need to look at what I'm doing. Yeah, see what's effective and talk to him.
Yeah, and I think if you come to him with like, it's basically boundary setting, and just coming to him with like a clear roadmap of expectations of what he can expect from you to actually perform and do. And then, as a business owner, he doesn't really care how much he's paying you as long as he's generating ROI. So he doesn't care how much he's paying you as long as he's getting ROI. And he also doesn't care how much time you're putting into it. Like I just hired a email copywriter, and it's it's one of these things where it could take 15 minutes for him to write the emails that he needs to write for the month. But if it generates a high ROI, then what do I care if it takes him 15 minutes or 10 hours?
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, that makes sense. Thank you.
Yeah, I would just speak more in terms of ROI. MRR is a great word for everyone here. Like ROI, return on investment. MRR means monthly recurring revenue. ARR means annual recurring revenue. And those types of terminologies, when you speak to other business owners with that language, then it makes sense to them. Because if you can help increase their MRR, monthly recurring revenue, then they will be more invested in you. Cool. All righty. Chase asked, can we expect NFTs to bubble this summer? Nick did mention he thinks there's going to be a bubble. I believe there's going to be a bubble based on everyone that I've been learning from, but that's not crypto advice. I'm not an expert. I would say do your own research. When am I dropping the new 8 a.m.? You mean this? It's going to be a while. Just because it takes a while to produce this, but I'm really excited about it. It's very comfortable. I only made 5 originally, but
I thought I
it
saw
comes-
March 21st.
yeah, I took that away because if it is, I haven't decided, to be completely honest. It might be March 21st, but that would have to be a pre-order. Like I do not have, I only made 5. They're sitting right there. Actually, there's only 1 left that I'm giving to one more person.
Yeah, don't rush the process for sure.
Yeah, exactly. It's not. That's one of the things I'm most excited about because 8am used to be my main business. And so I kind of did have to rush the process. But now I can take as much time as I want on it. And I'm really happy with this quality. It's very comfortable. Cool. Let's see. Elizabeth asked to resend the Hubi link. Yeah, I unfortunately cannot, because when I sent the referral code for everyone in here and I said don't share it, somebody shared it, and someone shared it, so Hubi got like blown up. Their servers got upset, and they canceled my referral code. But I will say that this coming week I'm sending out a new one, and I'm sending out a new one this week. So sorry about that, Elizabeth, but
That's okay. Thank you.
cool. Alrighty. Yeah, I'll give out the address for the event soon. I'll tell you now that the address is near the One Hotel in West Hollywood, and then I'll give the full event details on Thursday's call. All you guys really need to know is that it's 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. and it's near the One Hotel, but I'll give you the full exact address. And I'm saying the One Hotel, West Hollywood. Yeah, cool. All right, any other questions? Wow, we kind of like blew through those pretty quickly today. It's funny, sometimes these calls, like the last call, I don't know how many of you guys stayed on. It was 2 hours and 40 minutes. We just kept going. It was wild. This one's been about 55 or hour and 5. Actually, you know who I want to talk to? Nicole. Did you do that exercise?
Yeah, I did.
How was it? How's it been?
Good. I did it for high school stuff and not being able to take on too many responsibilities, right? And I also did it for not being in control and surrendering. Figured out what was going on there. But yeah, it was great.
How was that?
It was eye-opening. I was like, oh, I didn't even realize that this is why I have a hard time letting go of control. So
yeah, that exercise is just, you can find out so much about yourself and how to heal. It's a really good tool. I'm glad that's helping. My only advice is just, you have to keep doing it. Like, you know, I know that problem for you is deep rooted, been like 10 plus years for you. So set a reminder in your calendar, like every week, an hour, 2 hours, doing that, investigating your past and just bringing it to the light helps.
yeah, basically I was looking at my past and I was like, okay, what are all the things that hurt? And let me just think about these things for a minute and then see how they turned out to be positive things, or like domino effect positive, right, events. So it was cool. It was good. Super enlightening.
Awesome. Look, I like that word. I like that word a lot. I like to hear that word. Cool. Lauren asked how to do the stillness challenge from week 1 if your job is online.
Yeah, I've kind of been avoiding starting that. I know I need to do it, but I'll make excuses like, oh, I have to post this day, or I have to keep up with this online, so I can't.
Yeah, that's why I put it in week 1, because it's the hardest thing to do. And I just know that as soon as you put your money down on something, you're more apt to actually do the program. And that's why that's in week 1, because taking a day of doing nothing is just essential. How do you do it if your job is online? Do it on your day off. Do you work 7 days a week?
No, but I keep telling myself that I do.
Well, then take a day off.
Can't do it.
Put it in the calendar. What day will hold you accountable? What day in the next month can you do it?
I could probably do it Tuesday. Try.
You could try. You could probably do it.
Okay. I'm gonna do it on Tuesday.
Okay. So you're gonna do the stillness challenge on Tuesday, and you want to double check to make sure there's absolutely no other obligations.
Yeah, I'm good for Tuesday.
Tuesday. Okay. And what's the consequence if you don't do it?
What do you mean? I don't know. I have to think of something.
Well, I could think of something, but
Give me an example of a consequence.
if you don't do it, then I won't let you on a call for 2 weeks.
Oh my God. Okay, I'll do it. I'll do it. I was actually looking back at my camera roll and I had a picture saved from a book I was reading and I had highlighted a bunch of things on it and it was a perfect explanation of stillness and I was going to put it in the Slack messages, but it was so crazy. It was from 2017 and it's just like came back into my life now and it's when I need it the most, but I've been avoiding it.
Yeah.
2 weeks, no calls.
Yeah, you don't want that, do you?
No.
All right. Well, then do the silence. Take the medicine.
I'm gonna block everyone from my Instagram story.
No, you can't have your phone on you.
I know. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
Okay. Cool. All right. Any other questions?
I'm in the process of I actually just released my clothing brand yesterday and the first collection drop. So I definitely am new to the whole process, and setting up the website and making sure everything's in check. I'm not sure if I have anything specific right now, but it's like, would you recommend like adding PayPal as a form of payment too? Like,
yeah, add PayPal, add Bitcoin, add Ethereum,
yeah,
add
just
everything.
get separated, and yeah, I have to go through that and make sure everything's in check. But
yeah, it's like the clothing brand stuff. It's kind of like YouTube. It's like you did one drop, okay, like congratulations, but also do 30 drops, like it's a process. But as long as you're enjoying it and having fun with it, like you can never go wrong with action. The only way you can go wrong is inaction. So yeah, I mean, I think like when you're first starting your brand, obviously you don't have like the following for it. You don't have, people aren't as invested in it. So what you can just continuously work on is building relationships with customers. Everyone who does like your photos, everyone who does end up buying, like treat them like you're building 1,000 true fans. Like really carve out the identity of the brand. Who is this t-shirt for? Who is this t-shirt meant to inspire, if it is to inspire anyone? Like
right.
who would be wearing it, Someone's here. Yeah, does that make sense, Tyler?
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I just because obviously it's all about just doing it. And I had some stuff I ran into with making sure everything was set up with, taxes and the payment settings and shipping and whatnot. But I think I have,
You guys do come.
We got your gift.
You got me a gift?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Hey guys, this is Liv and Emma.
Hi,
I think you met
guys.
Emma last time.
Hi guys. What is going on? We got your gift. Is it okay if we give it to you now?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Wait, let him open it. What?
Swag. Thank you. Thank you guys. You guys are dope. Thanks for thinking of me. It's a kid's shirt. Everyone's muted. Everyone in their room just like, yeah.
Yeah, I like the one in the middle, that one like this. Yeah. All right, we're gonna leave you alone.
Thanks, guys. You guys are awesome.
I don't want to. We love you.
Love you guys
This
too.
is for like, you've been such a good host, you know?
Thank you.
When there's no,
Tell Emma I love her YouTube. She killed.
oh, I love you.
Oh yeah, Emma, come meet Vanessa.
Hi.
So Emma, this is Vanessa.
Hi.
This is Lex, and this is Grace. They don't all live together, but they flew across the country to come meet each other. They're actually in
No
California
way.
now. Yeah.
So nice to meet you guys.
Me too. I love your YouTube. I just want to tell you.
Thank you.
I was actually talking to Emma
I'm gonna eat my
about branding and stuff. And yeah, I mean, did you guys have any questions for Emma?
Can they hear me chewing?
I know, I feel bad if they hear me
I
chewing.
know.
I think Lorena had one.
That's my phone.
Oh,
Hold
well,
on.
I think of one. What was it? It was like, I think
A big
how
one
do
that go ahead.
you go ahead.
No, you're about to say something. Go ahead.
No, I don't know if it's like too personal, but maybe how do you deal with like hating, like hate comments and stuff like that, like jealousy, and just like doing like what you love without like care, like the opinions of other people, kind of. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
I know.
So dealing with hate is hard because obviously like I'm human and people are giving me hate through a screen and they think that it's not going to hurt me, but in the end like it honestly does. Like I read all my comments, I read all my DMs, everything, and it's like sometimes it's hard, but also you have to remember that some of the things, like when people are giving you hate, not to like be mean or anything, but when people are giving you hate, it's just internal issues that they're having and they're just bringing it out on you.
Right.
And it's way easier said than done to just like ignore the hate, but I, as much as I just try really hard to just not pay attention to it. And if someone's like giving me hate, I'm like, whatever, like I read it and then I just go on with my day and I honestly forget about it. Like I've learned to just not think about it.
They're also watching your video.
What?
They're
They're
also
also watching my videos. Like you're gonna watch my stuff, like my pictures, follow me on Instagram. Like if you really hate me that much, unfollow me and stop watching my videos. Like you don't need to do it. It's like all the people that are hating on me, they all follow me. Or if they like make a fake account and they follow me on that, like you are literally putting energy into making a full-on account on Instagram that's not even your personal account just to give me hate on it. Like why? I don't have time for that. Why would you have time for that? Like do something else that'll better you. Like start, I don't know, meditating, like start doing something else with your time instead of giving hate to others. Like it's so annoying. But
Emma, that's a great answer. One that comes up all the time. JT said haters pad the algorithm. Yeah, they do. They help. They do help.
Honestly,
those comments help.
If you don't have haters, you're doing something wrong.
Yeah, exactly. So that's a great question, Vanessa.
Yeah.
Last question, and I'll let you go, Emma. How do you come up with ideas for videos?
I don't know. It just kind of like comes to me. I don't like.
Yeah.
I don't really
you kind of just press record and then it happens. Right?
Yeah, like I just.
That's what that's like the number one piece of advice I use. You press record, like you pick it up, you go, okay, on.
And then you just kind of do it.
Like I talk to myself.
Hey guys.
I could talk to myself for like hours in front of the camera.
Yeah.
About just like random stuff, and then like there it is.
And if that's difficult for you, then talk to your shower handle. Like talk to your steering wheel.
No, don't talk to your shower handle or your steering wheel. I'd say take out your phone and start talking to your phone. Like pretend you're on like FaceTime or something, or pull out like Snapchat. Oh my God, what I do. So I did this way before I even like started my YouTube channel. But so obviously like Snapchatting my friends and stuff, I just do not have the time of day to sit there. I'm honestly pretty lazy. Like I don't like texting. I hate texting. If you text me, I don't answer. So I will have someone, like I'll be Snapchatting someone, and obviously like everyone my age just Snapchats in every single conversation, and it's pretty annoying, but whatever. Besides the point, instead of typing something out on Snapchat, I'll literally send my friends a video of me talking. Like I'll be like, hey, so this
Or
is what
text
my plan
messages.
is. Oh my God, or I'll send voice messages all the time. So I'm always talking to something. And then now it's like in front of the camera, I could just go on.
Yep.
And then with practice, you get more comfortable and you start to open up more. Oh my gosh, my first ever YouTube videos, I was like so shy, but now it's like crazy.
We were also talking earlier about how editing videos of yourself just makes you a better communicator in general.
Yeah, it does,
because you watch what weird
see-
stuff you do.
Yes, and you see how you talk, and you want to like not make those weird faces that you do when you talk or when you get excited or when you're laughing or something. You kind of like see what you're doing and change it a little bit. Not like that's bad, but just makes you more conscious of how you speak and the words you use. And yeah, I used to stutter a lot, and editing my videos really helps me like realize like you need to stop saying like and stuttering.
Exactly.
So then now
Exactly.
now when I'm about to do something like that, I pause. And
Of course, as you're
think about
explaining,
it. I
you say-
know. I try to, think about it before. Yeah.
It is wild. Emma and I were talking about this, I think yesterday, just how like you don't realize how much Emma knows about YouTube, about personal branding until someone actually asks her a question about it, which is why I'm glad she's been able to be here and like talk to you guys even a little bit. So
Yeah. I didn't think I knew that much.
cool.
Cool.
All right.
Nice.
Thanks, Emma.
Welcome. I'm gonna, there's no match. Okay, cool.
Cool. All right. Any other questions, guys?
It was nice to meet you
Bunch in the
guys.
chat.
You too. Thank you.
Arlen, I have one kind of quick one.
Go ahead, Grace.
I just wanted to get your opinion on like boundaries with clients and
Yep.
like texting with them, and kind of, I know I kind of got to the point where I was going to switch to Slack, but I still have a small group, and it's like in my heart, I want them to be able to text me and have my personal number, but it does make me a little anxious, and I kind of feel like, I'm bad at like responding to DMs and things, and I want to get better at that, and I feel like I should have like maybe move to Slack. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah.
Like, or is that damaging because then you're not like, hey, here's my number? I don't know.
We could go a lot of different ways with this, but the basic. So I'll give you like the basic answer and then the more in-depth answer. The basic answer is set a clear boundary, and that's it. So the basic answer is just write up a message that you even can just save in your notes, so you don't have to type it out every time. That basically says, hey, name. I have decided to, or I'm creating separation between my personal phone and business. And so if you could please contact me on Slack in the future, that would be amazing. Thank you, ! And when you just set that boundary, now they'll say, oh, geez, sorry. And they'll message you on Slack. They don't care, maybe they might message you in the future forgetting, but just don't respond. And then they see that message up there and they go, oh, okay, go to Slack. And then they'll message you on Slack. Now, some business coaches will tell you never give your clients your phone number because, it's just another distraction. And again, it is a boundary that you need to set. Like, your clients texting you is not actually allowing you to be the best coach that you can be. They're taking up more mental space than where it should be problems that you're solving for them. You're just thinking about them sort of randomly when they text you a question. So as an example, this is like sort of related, unrelated. Jake Wan was staying here in the guest house, and he actually had left some creatine in here. I don't use creatine. I don't think he does anymore either, but he left some in my kitchen, and it was a little subconscious thing. But Jake, are you here? I don't think Jake. Anyway, every time I looked in my kitchen, it was the creatine was just out there. I like subconsciously, I just kind of thought of Jake, and I like Jake. Jake is awesome, but I don't need to think. Jake doesn't need to enter my mind every time I walk in the kitchen, you know, because that's time that I need to be thinking about not just Jake, but how I can serve Jake and everyone else in the community. If that makes sense. So back to that, back to your question, Grace. The other level to it is you like it's a long. This is kind of like where it goes deeper and longer, where your relationship to your clients, you know, there's kind of like certain situations where boundaries almost don't really make much sense almost at all. Like, for example, like I have Emma and Liv staying in my guest house right now, and like to me, like the past 5 days they've been here, it's like I've set some boundaries, but for the most part they are my friends. You know, they've been friends for a long time, and so like why would I say, hey, you know, you can't use the house, you can't like go in the backyard from this time to this time, or you can't, like, those boundaries don't matter as much as to me because of the relationship that I'm building with them and the relationship over time. So with clients though, it's like, if you really believe that pouring in, you know, like for example, Grace, you could do a spreadsheet and like quantify how much your time is worth per hour. Like you could say, I am like my actual time, you actually do the math, track your time over the week, and you could figure out, okay, my current, based on what I'm making each month, when I'm working, my time is worth $1,000 per hour. Okay. And there's actually a really good tool that I have access to that I can send you guys that actually helps you do this. It basically, it quantifies dollar amounts to activities and even takes into consideration like watching TV is negative $10 per hour. Whereas like monitoring your investments is like $1,000 or more an hour, or answering emails is $10 an hour. Doing group calls like this maybe is $2,500 an hour, right? Anyway, you can do that, right? And one of my mentors, I asked him, you know, what would you say your hourly rate is? Because he puts a lot of time into me, and I pay him a lot of money. And he was like, after you quantify your time and it gets to like $4,000 per hour, it doesn't like, or more, it doesn't even really make sense to quantify it, because all the hours he puts into me that then expand into the future, like if it helps me grow and then I stay on with him as a client long term, then he obviously ends up making more money as well, but so do I. Do you see what I'm saying? So like if your program means that you're really building long-term relationships with people, then perhaps have less boundaries, right? Because you want to help, you're investing in them just as much as they're investing in you. So like, for example, if Grace has her $1,500 or $2,500 beat binge eating program, but then after that 12 weeks or 6 or 8 weeks, whatever it is, you decide you want to open a second program that's like a higher level thing. It's like in that 12 weeks, why wouldn't you give everything you possibly could to fix their problem? Because then they can invest in the next thing. See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's I could, it's kind of like a higher level thing, but short answer, just text them and say, hey, move into Slack.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's good. And I think too, maybe it could be why girls end up re-signing, because they do feel like they don't want to go, which has been so cool. So yeah, I think it's just, okay. No, that's really helpful. Thank you.
Sweet. Any other questions? I have time for really one more.
I got one.
You could go.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Dugan.
So I sent you a picture in your Slack, but my one client kind of slept off she kind of left, so I don't know what to do about that.
Yeah, I mean, that's like another. Another kind of that like really relates to what we just talked about. Like when you're first starting your program, like, and you only have one client, you know, give them your number, give them everything, because you want to have as much of an impact on their life as you possibly can. And like you want to make sure that they get their problem solved and they feel supported. And keep in mind too, like when you first start Dugan, like you don't know what your program is. You're learning what your program is through helping someone. So I mean, message her. I would give them your number, your next clients that you start signing, and give them your number, check on them daily. You're not going to be able to do this in the future, but the more tabs you have in on your ideal customer, how they're feeling day to day, what they need help with, like this is that exercise, that who is Andrew thing, right? So, you know, messaging on a daily basis, like, hey, how are you doing today? How can I serve you today? Like, what's on your mind? What are you struggling with? I have that whole list of questions from the Who is Andrew exercise that would be really beneficial. So for future, you know, that's probably why. I mean, you went on vacation, you just weren't thinking about it, right?
It wasn't even that. It was before vacation, and we hopped on a call, and it was like a one call, and then it was like I kind of helped her like build a schedule because that's what she was struggling with and kind of finding time. And then throughout the week, I said, oh, we'll have a call on Friday. Like, let's hop on a call before I get on my flight. And then she texted me saying like, hey, I do not want to do this anymore. Like, it was nothing against you. It was just like, I've had some issues with my car, and it was like an impulse decision and stuff like that. So
yeah, I mean, issues with her car, like this is another thing. It's like you kind of need to resell her, because like issues with her car, okay, but why did she make the investment in the first place? Because she has, I mean, I don't know exactly why, but I'm assuming it's more important than issues with her car, right? Like she can fix the issues with her car, but what you've accomplished with your life and your journey having CF, you know, if you can help her overcome that pain that you went through, what's more important, that or her car? See what I'm saying? Like, that's why like being cutthroat in sales is a good thing, because you really are doing it to serve and help people. So like I would get on the phone with her, you know, listen to her, but continuously remind her that like why she invested to begin with, and like how important those problems actually are to her. And then from then on, just keep more tabs with her. Also set a more defined schedule. So you'll be very confident when you say like calls are Fridays at 4 p.m. or Fridays at 7 p.m. and Mondays at this time. Feel free to text me any single time you have questions, and just tell me how your day is going. Tell me when you feel unmotivated. Tell me when you feel XYZ, and just like, yeah, let that relationship grow in that way.
yeah, I mean, I did reach out to her and see if we could hop on a call like either this weekend or this week to talk about it and stuff. And she just saw my message and never responded. So I guess I'll just unsend it and see if that works.
I mean, if she already saw it, I probably wouldn't unsend it. But yeah, I mean, this is another reason having the, like obviously if a customer is extremely unhappy with you, then, you know, you probably want to refund just for, you know, just because they're really unhappy. But also like if they're just asking because like their car, it's like, that's why you have an action-based refund policy where they have to complete the program, and then if they're unsatisfied, then you can refund them. But like if you're fulfilling the service and they're midway, they're just like, oh, I don't feel like it. It's like, no, like you signed up for this. We had an agreement. I'm putting all my time into you, and you need to complete it. And if you're not happy at the end, then sure, we can discuss refund, but not now.
Yeah, it wasn't even like she was like upset or she didn't like what I was doing. She loved what I just like she didn't want to put the money down to this right now. If that makes sense.
Okay, then help her with a payment plan or something. You know?
Well, we did have I was on a payment plan with her. And I think the thing that scared her was that obviously when you do 3-4 payments over a branch of 3 months, it increases in price. And I think that's what scared her a little bit, because it was more than what I said, but you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, look, Dugan, like, this is not going to be the first time this happens. This happens all the time in coaching businesses. So, do the best you can to retain her, resell her, but then just keep pushing forward, keep making more content, and keep signing more clients. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Dugan, it happened to me too, and when I started, so don't worry. I had somebody,
Okay.
I was almost at week 6 with her, and that was when I learned, but Arlen told me it's an L, but what looks like an L is actually a W, because then I learned I needed a contract. I didn't have one before, so, and it didn't make sense. I was like, and I felt like it was a hit to me, but then I realized, oh, it's okay. It just wasn't for me to solve for her, and that's okay. And yeah, and just, you'll get the next one. Like, don't let it defeat you.
You're almost guaranteed to lose your first, one of your first 3 clients, because you're just so undeveloped as a coach. You don't really know what you're doing. So you just have to expect it and go, okay, lesson learned. Why did she actually leave? Was it because of the program? Was it because of money? It probably wasn't because of money. It was unconfidence in you or the program. So how do you fix that? Make sense? Cool.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I have time. I mean, I'm a little over now, but Lauren, you were about to say something.
It's okay. I don't want to ask anymore.
No, go ahead.
No.
Go ahead.
It was back when you were talking about the protein in the kitchen, and you were saying, like, I don't need to be thinking about him, but you never explained, like, how do you get out of that thought of, like, being distracted by other people? No, but I mean, with anything, it could be like with relationships, like if someone's not talking to you and you're just like thinking about them, how do you go back to just like focusing on yourself and what you need to do?
So like a romantic relationship?
It could be with anyone, just like if you're constantly distracted by other people.
Remove all physical distractions that remind you of those people that are distracting you from your room, from your work area. I mean, that's why I'm just super, I guess anal is the word about it. If there's something in my space that reminds me of a person, I don't care how much I like that person. It's I'm very aware of okay, that I don't need to be thinking about Jake Wan all the time. That can go in the trash, So physical objects, just remove them from your space if they're reminding you of someone you feel like you're thinking about too much. As far as if it's just internal, there's letting go meditations on YouTube. So letting go of people, if it's an emotional romantic relationship, look up on YouTube letting go relationships meditation, and it's super intense. Actually, I did one after my breakup. It's super hard, but you kind of basically go through this process of, it sounds sad and dark, but you picture all the memories that you had with them, but you kind of picture yourself letting go and just releasing them from your life. That helps. And then all forms of physical exercise help, because you training your arm, is when I ended my relationship, basically tearing my muscles for me was a way of replenishing and replacing the cells in my body that were attached to her. Because you can take emotion and physically lives in your body. So when you work out, you're actually tearing those cells off and building new ones. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I just feel like it could be hard when it's not getting over someone, when it's someone that's in your life still, but you're just trying not to overthink about them when you don't need to be thinking about them.
You want to be more specific? Because I can't just tiptoe around this like this.
I don't know. I just feel like anytime I get close to someone, then I take my focus off myself, and I don't want to do that anymore.
There's a meditation for what sounds like are you empathic? Are you an empath? You focus on other people too much, or like their needs and not your own?
Yeah.
Yeah. So light a candle and look at the candle when it's lit. And I think we did this meditation a few weeks ago, but on the inhale, you stare directly at the candle. So the single point of the flame. And at the top of the inhale, you're staring at the candle, the single point. On the exhale, your gaze softens, and you're exhaling and your gaze softens. So your peripheral comes into view. You can see the candle, but you see everything around you, see your body. On the inhale, you sharpen your view on the candle. You sharpen your experience of yourself and your own boundaries and your feelings and what you need as an individual. And then as you exhale, you think about what other people need. You feel into the environment, into those other people that you are thinking about, and probably care for to some extent. Then again, on the inhale, focus on yourself, look at the point in the candle. On the exhale, focus on others, let go of like yourself, go into that kind of unity, right? And this meditation, it sounds a little woo-woo, but it's helped me so much because I tend to be empathic. Being an empath basically means you trend toward trying to people please, make sure everyone else is happy at the expense of yourself. So what this meditation does when you do it every day, Lauren, 5-10 minutes a day, is it throughout the day will remind you, okay, yes, I need to care about these other people, but I also need to do my own thing. You're not going to completely forget about those people that are sort of in your life, but because they do matter, you need a little empath in you, but you also need to just come back to your center and like feel the boundaries of your own physical body and your own physical needs. Does that answer it?
Yes.
I would practice that daily.
Okay. Can I add something too?
Go ahead, Nicole.
So what came up for me was when you lose yourself because other people are coming into your life, maybe it's because you're not seeing the value and the worth of yourself. So you just put others before you. But if you value yourself, you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't just give yourself away. So if that's happening to you right now easily, then maybe right now you are supposed to be investing in yourself and creating that strong relationship with yourself. Part of the reason why you're in this program too, right? So to better yourself, right? And to honor yourself.
That makes a lot of sense. And that adds into what I was avoiding with the stillness challenge. It's like things that I know I need to do, but I've been putting off. So it'll help.
Which is why you need to do them. Yeah.
And funny enough, the more you serve yourself, the more you can actually serve other people. So nice, Nicole. I love that. All right, great. Okay, guys, I gotta go. If you guys want to keep talking, I can just make someone else the host. I'm gonna make let's see. Raise your hand if you want to keep talking. Oh, Grace did. Okay, I'm gonna make Grace the host. And you guys can just keep chatting. Peace, guys. Great call.
Hey guys.
Are we muted?
Hey guys.
How's it going?
Hey y'all.
Oh,
Stop. Doing.
How's California?
Oh, it's the party chat now.
Love it. We're starting.
Which part of LA are you guys in?
We're in San Diego right now.
You're in San Diego right now?
Yeah, we're at Mission Beach currently.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I was just there a couple weeks ago.
Really?
No way.
Yeah.
It's so nice. It's like there's so many people. We saw like kids our age too on the strip, and they were like,
Yeah.
So nice. Everyone's
Isn't
just so
it
kind.
Everyone's just out going there.
What, Lauren?
Isn't it almost spring break? Or it might be spring break for some people right now.
some people. I think COVID made it a little different for people. I know I have.
I've just seen a lot of people in Miami saying it's spring break.
How many of you guys are going to the live event? Most of you?
I'll be there.
I'll be there.
Hey, we're all gonna meet. It's so weird, like meeting. Not weird, but it's like finally behind the Zoom.
That's so
it's
cool.
like, yeah.
Has anyone been to LA before?
I live.
I've been a few times.
Oh,
I
yeah,
live
one.
close by.
I live pretty close.
What should I check out? I got like 3 days to kill before and after.
There's if you want to meet people like in the industry, there's certain places that you go to. So Saddle Ranch is a big one. You'll see all the TikTokers, YouTubers, everyone. Boa Steakhouse, but I think it's really hard to get a reservation there. But being outside there, you'll see people. I don't know. I have to think about it.
Nobu's a good place too. I saw the Kardashians at Nobu when I went with my
Really?
Are they real? Do they look real?
They look real. Yeah. I was like, they're all there for like I think Mason's birthday party. Just a long time ago.
JT, how's Montana? JT and I go to the same school, if you guys don't know.
Yep.
Oh,
It's pretty nice right now. It doesn't feel like Montana. It's like 60 degrees and sunny.
Where in Montana are you guys?
Missoula.
Missoula. Okay, what school is that?
University of Montana.
Okay, I think I have know a lot of people. Is it a small like most of the people there, or is it a little bigger than that? Do you ski or anything?
Yeah, I ski heavy.
You know Toby Uberwoy? He's a skier up there. I don't know if you know him.
I don't think so. I'll check that. I'll go on Instagram and look him up or something.
I have a question. Did everyone do the stillness challenge, or are you guys lying? Because
I did it.
it's hard. I don't get how you do it.
It sucks.
It's intense. Yeah.
Like y'all still lying. Did y'all actually do it?
No, I haven't even attempted to. I've just been thinking like, how do you even do that for a whole day?
Lauren,
Like 1 to 3 days. Ow.
Said that you were going to do it on Tuesday. I actually have to send you the final edit to our podcast on Tuesday.
Yeah, I realize I can't do it Tuesday anymore. Scared of him though.
That's what you know.
I'm gonna try Wednesday.
Is this the thing where he said people cry? Or am I like? What's the thing?
No, that's
Probably.
It's like week 6, then you start crying.
No, like the thing where you like stare at a wall all day.
I haven't finished week 1. I'm supposed to be on.
Lauren, just go for a walk out in nature for like a whole day. The way I did the 3-day thing is I called off work. And the first day I did like 100% clean. I fasted all day. I just went for a walk in nature. I didn't even talk. I did nothing. I just walked in nature. The next 2 days I like started eating again, but I like was like away from my family, and I just like you don't have to do absolutely nothing. Like you can kind of scale it, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just hard with.
Just do your best.
I just make excuses.
I kind of feel the same way. So I was like, I didn't want to like have to sit alone with like my thoughts just constantly going. So I kind of feel that. But once you actually like just sit down and just do it and just like be in silence. Like for me, I just went to the beach all day. I didn't talk to anyone. I didn't even listen to any music. And I just brought my journal with me for like the last half of it. But I just like sat at the beach on a blanket, just like looking at the waves, just like meditating all day. It was pretty like peaceful actually.
That seems like the perfect way to do it.
Yeah, or even like going to like getting an Airbnb in like a forest or something. That would be pretty sick too.
Yeah, I just feel like if I'm in my room, I'm gonna have so many distractions.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks, but you'll gain a lot of clarity afterwards. Like it sucked during it. It was really tough, but then afterwards you're like, okay, I'm way too reliant on like looking at people's Instagram. Like if you're doing dishes, you need music in your ears or whatever. You're like, okay, I need to just like, it's the whole thing, like being aware that you're aware. It's like you need to actually take everything in and not being so reliant.
Yeah, and I think equally important is like after you do it, like choosing what you integrate back into your life, because it's easy. Like if you just do it and then go back to your normal life the next day, like try to like be like, do I really need to like have all these social apps on my phone and all these different things? Like see what you can take out afterwards.
Yeah, I feel like that's why I've waited so long to do it, because I want to be in the right mindset where it's going to stick and I'm not just going to go back to what I was doing before.
Yeah, you could just wait forever though if you try to wait for like the right opportunities. So.
Yeah.
All right, y'all, I gotta go, but it was nice talking.
Yeah, good to meet you.
Oh man.
Can you guys wave? I want to post like a story. Is that weird if we wave?
Wait, is it a video or a picture?
Yeah, video. Like 2 seconds.
Okay.
You show your face.
Oh, it's a video.
Oh, it is a video. Wait, what?
Perfect.
Have you guys been to Mount Soledad yet? You guys in San Diego? Grace and Lex?
Oh,
We what?
we what?
Have you guys been to Mount Soledad? It's pretty close to Mission
No.
Beach. Did you guys have a car there?
No, we don't have a car here
And
right now.
we-
We're getting a car. We have Lorena and Carmela are meeting us tomorrow. So we
Yeah.
have more girls. That's where we're getting a car.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
Definitely smart to get.
That's cool. Wait, Mount Soledad? Did you say?
yeah, Mount Soledad's a cool place. Yeah, I rented a car when I was there because I don't have a car right now. But when I was there, I rented a car and I went to one of my favorite places when I was living there was Mount Soledad. You could like see the entire like city of San Diego and like the whole like beach coastline. And then what else was there?
Did you ever go to Sunset Cliffs?
Yeah, I love Sunset Cliffs. I went jumping off the cliffs there, and that was scary but fun at the same time.
I did too. That was
Yeah.
like one of the last places I went before I was in a
Yeah.
car accident. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was really fun. I loved it. And
Lex,
then this was good. And
you know,
when
I wish I was coming on Monday. I'd come watch The Bachelor with you guys, but I'm coming Tuesday.
I know.
We're FaceTiming though.
It's a finale. I'll
Yeah.
FaceTime
Is
you.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't watch that.
I watch it, but not this season. I don't know why. I don't like
It's been a lot of drama. It's been the best season yet. That's what they say every year. Yeah.
There was drama.
There was.
Do you think there? Who knows? Oh, gosh,
Who knows?
I don't know.
When is everyone?
Guys, well,
When,
we're gonna go-
What?
Beth, are you in LA?
Yeah, I'm in LA right now.
Okay. What are some of the best like spots to eat?
Oh my gosh. Okay, I feel like I'm not the best person to ask about this because like I'm just like around USC's campus a lot.
Yeah.
I know like Rouse is pretty good, but it's like more expensive for like Italian food. Yeah, there's a lot of good places like Koreatown, like I don't know, like some people like Monty's if you're vegan or anything.
Okay, cool.
I've never heard of any of those places.
No, okay. Yeah, no, there's like if you go like West Hollywood, there's a lot of good places to eat there.
USC is more like on the east side of LA, right?
It's like right by downtown. Like looking out my window, I can see like the
USC area is a little ghetto.
yeah. It is.
I went to a USC party, and I was expecting something else, and I pulled up, and it was weird. It was
You're
fun.
probably expecting like UCLA.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
More white.
I loved it though. It was fun.
I saw you guys were at the beach. Was it packed or was it like more private?
It wasn't bad. I mean,
No.
we didn't feel crowded.
Yeah.
At all.
Okay.
I feel because it's like their spring, right? It's like their winter,
Yeah.
so it was like
It wasn't. We didn't even get that. I mean, it was really warm to us, but we didn't get like hot.
the water
you know
was
what I mean?
like freezing.
Yeah, the
like,
water
it
was
wasn't-
cold.
Yeah, everyone here is like wearing
But-
jackets and.
Oh.
Oh, it's summer.
I'm from Canada. I'm gonna be in shorts the entire time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the mornings are chilly though. I've been wearing my like down jacket in the morning, which is kind of.
I like hurt my knee.
Just like a light
like-
layer, but I need it.
Yeah, I literally hurt my knee like 3 days before I came to California, so I have a wheelchair and I've been hobbling
We've been like
around.
pushing
We've been wheeling her around
I'm
everywhere.
like,
It's
yeah,
really great.
It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's
doing
fun.
awesome.
So I hope I'm like fine.
Do you guys know if he's doing a live event next year, or is this just like a one-time thing?
There'll be more.
I'm sure
Okay,
there
thank God.
This is the only free one, though.
Mm.
Oh, that's true.
They'll
What do you
start,
guys-
they'll start charging, I think.
I was gonna say, what are you guys wearing like to a live event? Are we just all going chill? Like I was asking Jake Wan this. I was like,
Just
so
like Arlen, he dresses casual all the time.
yeah. Okay, that's what I figured. I was like, it's not gonna be that bad.
I mean, me being me, I'm looking for like the Instagrammable picture, of course.
Oh yeah, me
so,
too.
I mean, house in Hollywood Hills, so I'm gonna have at least something, but I'll be comfy afterwards. I'm sure.
Yeah, sweet.
I know you guys won't judge me for just getting my Insta pic, you know.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe like for girls, like a sundress or like I don't know. Like
For
I might even wear
me
like
that lives here, that's gonna be kind of cold. 73, that's like
See, 70
crazy.
is like, oh
Laura,
yeah.
what are you
that's
even wearing?
hot.
You have such good clothes.
It was,
I
it
don't
was
know.
45
I
and
was
snowing over here today.
so cold. I saw a tweet that said 50 degrees in LA is actually the coldest temperature on earth. And that's true. We'll be like freaking out.
Yeah, I know.
Like in Montana, when it's 40 degrees, we're like windows down, people wearing shorts. Like
I
that's
know.
literally it.
That's it.
I don't
Tyler,
know.
did you get a rental car yet for while you're there?
Me?
Tyler, yeah, did you get a rental car?
Oh no. No, I don't. I haven't even looked into that yet.
Okay, so I'm trying to find a place to
I
get a
am.
rental car in LA.
Hmm.
Turo blocked my account because I got one ticket, but
There
yeah,
you go.
kind of
Yeah, I
annoying.
was actually, what was I doing? I was just, that unconventional plan type of thing. I was looking at exotic cars and stuff.
Yeah.
Get like a Lamborghini Huracan for 1,000 a day.
That'd be sick.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot
But
of the places you have to be like 25 or older, but
yeah, that's
I'm
the
not even
thing.
20. I turned 21 in September, so I'm still 20. So I need to find a place that could rent like a young person a car. So
Right.
I plan on going to like Malibu and Laguna Beach. I need to meet up with some people there. Yeah.
I love Laguna Beach.
Yeah, I love Laguna. It's so nice.
Or check out Crystal Cove in Newport.
Crystal Cove. I've never been to Newport. I definitely have to check that one out.
It's more secluded. It's kind of like Laguna, but it's not as crowded at all.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, are there any like spots to around kind of like the Hollywood area? I know I'm staying on Sunset the first 3 days that I'm there. So I guess like are there any places that I should avoid like at certain times, you know what I mean? Like areas.
Hollywood, don't go anywhere near the Hollywood like boulevards. Don't go anywhere near that area. You might get jacked.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
It's good to know that,
yeah. As far as West Hollywood goes, Sunset Boulevard is pretty safe. Like, cause you're staying by the one hotel that's by Kith, and it's pretty safe area.
Right.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Yeah, I actually got a pack. It's what is it, like 9 o'clock now? My flight is tomorrow morning, so
Yeah, I got a pack too. I'm excited to see you guys though. Excited to meet you guys. It'll be fun.
555.
Awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
That means big changes coming.
Changes coming.
Yeah.
I love that.
Awesome. But yeah,
All right. Well,
have a good night.
yeah, take it easy. We'll see you guys soon.
See you guys on Thursdays. Bye.
Yeah. I'm gonna dip too. Peace out. See
Deuces.
you guys.
Bye.
Bye.